Hello once again, welcome to Barcelona and the PokerStars European Poker Tour. Let's do this, day 4 of 6. Today's the day we play down to the final 2 tables, the final 16. 48 remain from a starting field of 1,988, a new record on the EPT. I am James Hartigan, alongside me, Joe Stapleton.
Hello, my Barcelona babies.
So if we look at the top 10, Joe, Braco is the chip leader with 2.8 million. Behind him, Shannon Shorr with 100 bigs. Shannon is going to be headlining our first feature table of the day. We've also got Simon Brandstrom on the TV stage, and he is 4th in chips overall with 92 bigs.
That is Simon Ace's Brandstrom to you.
Oh, I can't believe I found that one funny. We're going to be kicking things off at level 23. Blinds will be 10,000, 25,000 with a 25k big blind ante. The Swedes putting in a decent performance in this year's EPT Barcelona main event.
How sweet it is.
And we've got 3 Swedes at the feature table. We've got Brandstrom, we've got Simon Mattsson, and we've got Alexander Iversen. We've also got Gaelle Baumann, and as previously mentioned, Shannon Shorr. Those 2 players, Shorr and Baumann, haven't featured on the main stage so far. Brandstrom opens for 100k. Slobodskoy shoves for 725k. Ace-Jack against Queens. Slobodskoy is the player who needs to improve. He is the at-risk player.
He is the player that needs to suck out.
5 immediate outs. An ace or a jack needed. And that takes away an out. Cannot be the ace of clubs.
Well, not with that attitude, it can't.
And that is the end. Noah Slobodskoy. And we are down to 45 players. Wow, that means there's been an elimination from the outer tables as well.
Game over.
Brandstrom moves over the 3 million mark, and we think that's going to give him the overall chip lead. So this is Tim Adams against Stefan Jedlička, joining this hand on the river. Already 600k in the pot. Looks like the action's been checked to Tim on the button. Tim Adams playing a time bank card.
So what's the board? King, queen, 6, 9, king?
With 3 diamonds. King of diamonds, queen of diamonds, 9 of diamonds. King of clubs, 6 of spades is the board. Well, that's a bet of 750,000.
Wow. Wow.
And it's an overbet. Just to clarify, 600k in the pot. 750k the river bet from Adams.
Two kings, 3 diamonds on board.
And the single chip call from Jedlička. That is nothing more than ace high.
Oh.
And that is jack 6 of diamonds for a flush. Adams makes the bluff with the blocker, but Jedlička had a jack high flush, and that huge pot will give Stefan Jedlička the chip lead. He's playing more than 3.5 million. Tim Adams down to 260k. Action on Shannon Shorr. A raise from the hijack. Shannon with king 10. Simon Brandstrom with king queen.
You guys, there are other players at the table.
$155.
3-bet to 155,000.
I guess he thinks Shannon's just a little too active. Oh boy.
And now the ace-king of diamonds for Felipe Salgado in the big blind. Starts with a 20 big blind stack, all in. On easy fold for Shannon Shorr. For Brandstrom?
It's getting 2-1.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he's priced in. He doesn't know he's dominated.
And it's a fairly insignificant portion of his stack as well.
510.
Yep, he calls. Well, we have Domination Nation at the feature table. Salgado at risk, but ahead.
I mean, what's going on with all these blockers? They're just not really, it's almost as if they mean nothing.
Salgado, a 3-1 favorite with 5 cards to come. And that'll make him feel a lot more comfortable. Brandstrom doing the classic. I'll count it out now in the hope that that'll give me some additional equity.
In the hope that we'll get the next hand going sooner.
Yep, it's all over on the turn. Salgado gets the double up. $1.1 million now for Salgado. He's doubled up to just over 40 bigs. Baumann and Matson, the two shorties at the table, with 16 and 15 big blinds respectively. Brandstrom now on 2.6 million. Still the table chip leader. Still has more than 100 bigs. Wow. Practically a flip post-flop. Shorr with top pair, Baumann with a pair and a flush draw. Shannon continues, 85,000 into 135,000. And Baumann's got 13 bigs behind. Check raise all in.
Call.
Called by Shorr, and we are off to the races. 11 outs for Gaelle Baumann.
Post-flop flipping.
Kings, sevens, and hearts all working for her.
She is. She is? Yeah. All right, switch hands if you don't mind.
Turn card is a 4. 4 of clubs. Same outs needed, down to 31% equity. We are in Barcelona, where a famous meme was born. Is it always coming? Okay. 7? Yes!
Oh,
it
man!
Is! 7!
7!
Bring the,
and just like that, Gaelle Baumann survives and doubles up.
Not inglorious at all, quite glorious.
Now, we're heading to the outer tables to check in on Jonas Tenkate. Sorry if I'm butchering that, but he's the new chip leader. And meanwhile, as we're out on the floor. Let's check in on Tim Adams. We saw him become short stacked earlier. Now he's all in against Martin Suzor. Adams with Queen 10, Suzor with King Jack. King high flop. And looks like it's over on the turn. Tim Adams eliminated, and Martin Suzor, a former EPT runner-up, playing a stack of 2 million.
Timothy Adams. Timothy, out of here. Martin. Up to 2 million in chips. All right, buddy boy.
Average stack is pretty deep. Playing nearly a 75 big blind average.
Another big hand for Shannon Shorr.
Opens with jacks to 50K. Can you work out what the hell is going on over there? I mean, maybe they see a car crash coming. We've got a call from Brandstrom with the 8s, Gaelle Baumann with 7s.
I think they're watching a soccer game.
Oh.
It's always coming siete.
Good fold by Gaelle Baumann.
Not really. Because the 7, it is always coming. Oh.
Not this time. Instead, it's the 8. Brandstrom with a set and now a 92% favorite. Just the one overcard for sure to be concerned about. Continues for 50,000.
Oh man, I'm just thinking about what it feels like to flop a set. Oh, it's so good.
Brandstrom just calls. 9 on the turn. Shorr now drawing to 2 outs.
Such a great turn card too. Shannon checks.
How much does Brandstrom bet?
Yeah, Shorr is going to have showdown value a lot of the time when he checks here. I don't think Brandstrom makes it too huge, though. That's pretty big. 160 into 260.
Yep.
Maybe trying to make it look a little bluffy. Seems like a big bet to make with just a king, so maybe polarizes himself a little bit here by going well over half pot. Yep, this has worked. Got him.
Going to the river with 580,000 in the middle. Inconsequential 5 of spades.
Great run out too for a set of 8s.
Shannon checks a second time. How much value can Brandstrom extract here?
I think he's going to go pretty big again.
10 seconds.
Especially when he waits this long.
425.
Yeah, there it is.
I did.
So, 3 check. And you bet?
425.
425.
A little bit of confusion there.
Dealer didn't catch the check from Shannon. Luckily, the players are on top of it.
So 425K is the bet. Meanwhile, tables being broken because we're down to 40. We're down to 5 tables of 8. Means we'll be getting a new player on the main stage shortly.
10 seconds.
And Brandstrom really trying to make it look like some kind of missed draw here.
Shannon Shorr utilizing those time bank cards. Remember, with the shot clock in play, 30 seconds per decision unless you buy yourself more time. Each time bank card worth an additional 30 seconds.
I'm not all in.
You're not all in. I just couldn't hear you. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Shannon Shorr
That would have been weird.
called, but he did not
You just
announce
called,
all in.
yeah? You said
Call.
call.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
No,
Because I didn't hear this announcement.
I didn't hear him say anything.
I didn't either.
I think I heard all in. You did?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you
Again,
said call.
another slight miscommunication.
Before I
Could have
keep-
been worse. No big
Yeah,
deal.
So just to be clear, Shannon Shorr called on the river, did not verbally declare all in. He is not all in, but he has just lost a significant pot to Simon Brandstrom. Shannon Shorr down to 1.3 million, 51 big blinds. Simon Brandstrom up to nearly 3.3 million, 131 bigs.
I predicted many clashes between these two.
Hello.
But another one like that going Brandstrom's direction, and that could be the end of Shannon Shorr.
So it's been folded to Shannon Shorr on the button, pocket nines.
Pre-raise 60.
So the raise is to 60,000. Brandstrom with ace-9 in the small blind.
10 seconds.
165.
Before
And it's
165.
a re-raise to 165,000.
You guys, stop it!
Diego folds the big blind. He's the second biggest stack at the table, by the way. Falcone, 2.27 million.
Pre-fold. 65.
Shorr has called. King, Jack flop with 2 spades.
Shannon Shorr has had many quite decent starting hands today, just not much materializing.
4.75.
C-bet of 75,000 called by Shorr. This hand going to the turn. It's a 9.
Finally.
Shannon Shorr with the full house. Brandstrom drawing to a chop.
Full check.
Brandstrom checks.
It's only fair that
190.
Shannon make a set / full house now. And we're making sure we get this.
I love that. 190,000. Clearly enunciated.
It'd be hilarious if the dealer was like, all in? Seat 4 folds?
1 second.
Simon using at least one time bank card. These two just trading haymakers today. Brandstrom drawing dead. At least he can't hit another 9.
Check. Seat 4 check.
Do you think Shorr shoves?
I know you asked me a question a few seconds ago. I'm still thinking of the answer. I mean, he does have less than pop behind, so
Yeah.
that speaks to it. But 190 isn't a huge bet on the turn. So I'm not sure how strong Brandstrom really looks, but the longer Shorr takes to make this decision, the more I think we end up seeing the shove.
All in?
Now he's all in. Now we can present him with the triangle.
I really love that players with a hand this marginal will take their time with this decision, will replay the action,
10 seconds.
considering ranges, considering bet sizing. I mean, this is just an instant fold for me every time, but this is what makes really great players, that they will at least consider this and sometimes will make the call and be right.
That classic nuts or air bet.
I do think that, again, there is plenty that missed here that Brandstrom has to consider, but ultimately makes the right decision.
So Shannon Shorr now playing 1.7 million, just shy of 70 big blinds. Simon Brandstrom still the table chip leader with 2.8 million, more than 110 bigs. The table short stack is Simon Mattsson with 16 big blinds. It's been confirmed that the PokerStars Players No Limit Hold'em Championship is coming back and will be at Casino Barcelona in August 2020. It's your chance to follow in the footsteps of Ramon Kalilas, who turned his free entry to the first PSPC into a $5.1 million score. Over the next 12 months, Platinum passes are being awarded live and online. You can win yours by playing at PokerStars. Action here has been folded to Brandstrom with King Queen.
Big fold, raise 50. 5 fold.
Raised to 50,000. Gaelle Baumann in the big blind has Queen 9 of clubs. She starts the hand with 30 bigs. She defends, heads up to the flop.
She is dominated, but I see a 9 and a queen.
So top pair for Brandstrom, top 2 for Baumann. 84% favorite. She checks. And Brandstrom continues. 2 green chips, 50,000.
Gaelle's going for the more aggressive option.
75.
Yeah, it's a check raise to 175,000.
King, queen, probably too strong to fold, but I don't think Gaelle's gonna be messing around here too often either. Obviously from the big blind, there's lots of semi-bluffing she could be doing.
10 seconds.
7-8, Jack-10, spades. Whoa, he's just jamming on her.
74.
Gaelle Baumann snap calls.
He thinks there's a whole lot of semi-bluffing she could be doing.
Wow, great spot for Baumann. Could double up here to 1.6 million. Has to fade a king though.
Ja, lite för trist bräda för honom.
Lol.
Han har knäckt på turnen.
Only a king on the river would eliminate Gaelle Baumann. So 5 queens and 9s hold, and Gaelle Baumann doubles up through Simon Brandstrom.
And Glorious Baumann.
She's now playing 63 big blinds. Brandstrom playing 80 big, still a big stack, still has more than 2 million. Diego Falcone is the table chip leader though, with 2.3 million, 90 big blinds.
It's been an all-out brawl at this table today. Everyone's swinging for the fences.
Matsson's all in. Salgado opened the button with ace-7. Matsson shoves with deuces. And Salgado calls,
Wow.
and we're off to the races. Flip that coin.
Sleep against charge down.
Like Danger Zone versus I'm All Right. One of these two hands has a slight mathematical advantage. Like Loggins versus Messina. See Darwin at risk.
And now behind because the 7 hits the flop. I'm conflicted. On the one hand, it's always coming 7. On the other, deuces never loses.
Like, it's always coming 7s versus deuces never loses.
That's the end of C. Darwin. Simon Matsson eliminated, and you see he goes out in 39th. We've already lost a player in 40th place. More on that in just a moment. 31,040 euros, so he made the pay jump.
Tough story to tell.
Again.
You may have another one.
Salgado
nice
closing
story
in on
to
the
know.
60 big
Friends.
blind mark.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at a hand that
Yeah.
just happened before
let's see that
that on
one.
one of the outer
took him out.
tables. So it's a bit of a confusing one. Stick with me.
Okay.
It's Giovanni Torre and Robert Hydorn in the hand.
Okay.
And when Torre bet the flop, Hydorn raised, leaving himself a few chips behind. Because Torre thought that Hydorn was all in, he turned over his cards.
Okay, that's odd.
So Hydorn now knows that his opponent has a set of fives.
And he hasn't made his decision yet?
Hydorn still has a few chips behind, and he's using his time bank cards because he's stalling, because we're on the pay jump.
Has there ever been a reported case of someone making a pay jump because they used their tie bank cards? Like, what are the chances?
A really awkward situation, but from Torre's point of view, if you don't see the triangle there, if you don't ask the dealer to confirm, never assume that someone is all in. Okay, now Hydorn's all in, and he has a flush draw. There are two clubs on the flop. So it's the nut flush draw versus a set. And no club on the river. Robert Hydorn is eliminated, and he did not make the pay jump. He went out in 40th place.
What a bizarre hand. Sorry, I'm just kind of speechless.
We have a new feature table lineup, including the start of day chip leader, Pasquale Braco, Cully Sadu, a former EPT finalist, Jerry Odeen, who we saw run his stack up yesterday in back-to-back hands, plus Marion Mick, Kelvin Kerber, Alakrishna Patur, and Rio Carapano. So, we kick off level 24 with blinds of 50,000, 30,000 with a 30K big blind ante. And we say good afternoon to Vincent Hand.
How you doing? How are you?
Good, thank you, Vincent. Ready for some day 4 action? Bracco wakes up with queens. Kerber opens to 60K with 9-8 suited, and this looks like a 3-bet from the Italian.
165. 65.
Make it a 165. I think Kerber is going to be very tempted to see a flop with the 9-8 suited. It's a pretty small re-raise, getting a good price. Might be a little bit suspicious that it's too small. I think it's going to be very nutted. Given the positions and given the size, I expect that we see him call here quite frequently though.
5 seconds.
Of course, it depends what sort of hands he thinks his opponent is going to re-raise with. If he thinks this size is going to be only the nutted hands, maybe he doesn't feel like he's getting the right price.
Like 4.
Kerber calls. Has to play a 3-bet pot out of position and is dominated right now. Interesting flop. Kerber with a pair of 8s. Backdoor diamonds working for him. Backdoor straight draw as well. From Bracco's perspective, Finton, how unhappy is he about that ace?
Yeah, of course, it's not the flop that he was hoping for. It's going to be hard for him to get multiple bets in for value. I think it's a board in a 3-bet pot that he wants to mostly be betting for a small sizing, just because he's going to have the strongest hands. But at the same time, if you are going to check, queens is one of those hands that just naturally feels right. So he does go for the small size, and I think Kerber, with his hand, might feel he has to call. Obviously, there is a fear that his opponent could have pocket jacks or pocket aces, but with the backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw, and a pair, I think 85k, the 400 is just going to be a bit too small to see a fold.
Yeah, he calls, and this hand is going to the turn. 6 of clubs.
I expect we're going to see a check quite frequently here.
7 on the river. So
That is
queen's
not
still good.
an insignificant river though. 9-10 gets there. 8-7 suited becomes 2 pair. When your opponent checks back this turn, a lot of the time they are going to have hands like this. Maybe something like ace-5 suited that 3-bet, bet small, might be the best hand they're going to have. Going to have kings and queens a lot.
Kerber moves all in, and I'm pretty sure, Finton, we can confidently say this is turning his hand into a bluff.
Absolutely, that's what I was going to say. It's just a nice spot for him to attack his opponent, who you'd probably imagine can't have the strongest hands at this point.
Huge overbet. 5-7-5 was the pot. All in for 7-9-8. And that is a time bank card played by Braco.
Even if Bracco thinks that he's getting out of line here, the problem with calling with the queens is it makes it less likely your opponent has the king-queen, the queen-10, these sort of hands that are quite natural bluffs. But maybe he feels his opponent wouldn't bluff with those hands just because it makes it less likely that he has the hands he's trying to get him to fold. So you can pause the clock for a count, really? I never seen that before.
Yep. In an all-in situation, if you want your opponent's stack to be verified, the countdown clock will be paused.
And restarted, I assume, straight away.
Absolutely, as soon as the number is given.
Wow, what a call!
Braco finds the call with queens and eliminates Kelvin Kerber.
Wow.
Look, guys. Game, buddy.
Nice call, sir.
I love the bluff. I love the call. How does he make that call with 36 left in an EPT? Insane.
Incredible hand, and Kelvin Kerber is eliminated in 37th place, cashes out for 31,000 euros. And Braco up to nearly 4 million.
No, no,
Wow,
no,
what a
no,
call.
no.
I would never be able to make that call.
And we're going to step away from the feature table. We're going to go out into the field, check on 2 players from our former feature table, Gaelle Baumann and Alexander Iversen. And we're going to pick up the action on the turn. The board here is King, Queen, 5-5 with 2 hearts. Goes check, check, deuce of spades on the river, so no flush. Action on Iversen. And looks like the Swede has bet. It's 275,000. Gaelle Baumann has counted out the call. She makes the call, and Iversen tables a 5-3 for trips. Gaelle Baumann mucks, and that will see Iversen back up to 2.4 million. Gaelle Baumann slips down to 1.5 million. Braco with 7-4 of hearts in the small blind.
100?
don't think Karapanov's going to check his option. No, raises with the ace-5.
120.
Braco wants to play.
Definitely does seem like the player who's getting the most out of line on this table so far. Oof, that's a big flop though.
Oh, flush draw versus top pair.
Good. Thank you.
Bet, check raise, all in.
Pretty check.
There it goes, check, check.
You know, Bracco is not going to be folding the turn almost regardless of the action. Be interesting to see if he wants to bet here and start turning his hand into a semi-bluff.
Nope. Unless it goes bet, check raise, all in.
Again, be interesting whether he wants to check raise or check call. I think we're most likely going to just see him check call.
Yep.
Oof.
Oh, come on. Ridiculous river card. The flush for Bracco, 2 pair for Karapanov.
Bracco's got to be a little bit concerned that on the flush completing river card, that this will go check, check. So maybe he's going to want to lead. Obviously, we can see that if he went for the check raise, it would put his opponent in a very tricky spot.
355.
355,000.
It's not a line that you see people bluff too frequently. But Karapanov with the river 2 pair, I just feel like he's just going to have to call, even if he does feel not great about it.
Yep, he calls. More chips for Pasquale Braco.
355.
He's moved up over the 4 million mark, more than 130 bigs.
55. Yeah.
Bossing this feature table. So Odeen has opened with ace deuce. We've had the 3-bet from Patur with ace 5. Mick folds queen jack suited on the button. Blinds are out, action back on Odeen.
We will see Odeen continue in some capacity, whether that is for a re-raise, for a 4-bet, or if he wants to go to the streets. Both players very reasonably deep, over 60 big blinds to start the hand. The longer he thinks, the more likely I think it is he 4-bets. He does just call.
5 check.
The pre-flop aggressor. Neither player flopping a whole lot of anything. Odeen with the backdoor no flush draw. A little tricky to float out of position here if he sees a reasonable sized bet from Patur.
125. 125. 6 bet 125.
Wow.
355.
Odeen responds with the check raise to 355k.
How bad does Patur want to win that platinum pass, James?
I hope someone's told him that A, it has to be online, and B, it has to be in a cash game.
10 seconds.
A little bit surprised to see him not just insta-mucked his hand. Looks like he's a bit suspicious of Odeen, but very hard to play back with the ace-5. Is he about to pull the trigger?
Seconds.
Time bank cards being played to buy Patur more thinking time.
Is that one last look at the cards as they go into the muck, or is that one last look at, are we really going to do this?
Oh, I sincerely hope so.
Marlin.
Yes! What? In your face! It's triangle time! And Patur wins the pot.
I need one more time back, please.
I can't believe he's gone all in. Maybe I thought we might see him click it back, but he just shoves all in with ace-5, no draw. Wow.
Now playing 2.6 million, second in chips at the feature table, close to 90 big blinds.
Kiddies games down the street.
Jerry Odeen third in chips with 75 bigs.
I guess he just picked up on something and decided that he was going to go with it.
Okay, that was spicy. Let's have another one.
Six, four, four, 5 fold.
Patur with 10-5 of diamonds.
6 fold.
He's going to take a hand off. Round to the button. Leandro Bustillo. Jack 8 offsuit. Raises to 60,000. Pasquale Braco, the table chip leader, has pocket tens in the small. Three bets to 170k. Ace-king for Karapanov.
Will we see him just shove here with 40 big blinds?
Time bank card played.
I'll tell you this much, I do not think Braco is going to fold. Whether we see the shove or whether we see the raise, I think we're going to see an all-in. Ace-king versus the tens.
All in.
There's the shove from Karapanov. The fold from Bustillo.
From 1.3.
Braco wants a count.
I think button, small blind, a big blind. For 40 big blinds, tens are just going to be too strong to fold.
245. 245.
Go.
There's the call. Coin flip alert. Classic race underway at the feature table. Karapanov at risk with the ace-king. Braco with the pocket tens. Here comes the flop. Queen, 9, deuce, tens holding. 6 immediate outs for Karapanov, the at-risk player. Turn is the 4 of diamonds. Same outs. Karapanov needs an ace or a king or he'll be eliminated in 34th place. River card is an 8. Braco couldn't bring himself to look, but tens hold and Karapanov, the qualifier, is eliminated, cashing out for 31,040 euros. Meanwhile, Pasquale Braco, who started day 4 as chip leader, has reclaimed the chip lead. Well, that's going to bring the level to a close. Braco, big chip leader, 5 million chips. Marion Mick in the danger zone. Still half the day to play, several levels to be played at Casino Barcelona as day 4 continues.